Okay, everybody, got a video response, a little throwback here going on. JankedJesus, a fellow retro collector YouTuber here in the space, he streams and does a lot of cool video content, and I saw the video he put out about debunking video game collecting myths. I said, okay, that'd be pretty interesting, and I watched it, and I'm not going to talk about every topic he talked about because I'd love for you guys to go over to his channel and watch his video to see all the things he has to say. But there's a couple that I wanted to talk about because I've also been collecting retro video games now in a way for my whole life, which kind of sounds funny, but I still have my childhood N64 games. I have my childhood Mario 64, Mario Party 2, Ocarina of Time, Donkey Kong 64. I still have a lot of my childhood games, so I guess in a way I've been... I came out of the womb a hoarder, I guess is what I'm getting at. And I wanted to break down 3 topics, and if you guys like this, we can do more. If you guys are also fellow collectors and want to talk about video game collecting, then, you know, just let me know down in the comments. But the first topic we're going to talk about was the first one he talked about, and that's that video game collectors are not rich. And I'll just come right out of the gates and say, yeah, that's pretty much true. Guys, I'm about 2 Wii U games short. Now, why am I 2 Wii U games short? It's twofold. A, I'm not rich, so I'm missing Devil's Third. Theoretically, could I go on eBay or what have you and just buy Devil's Third? Technically. But should I? Is that the most financially responsible thing to do? No, so I haven't done it, right? But I could budget, right? That game's like $300 or $400. I could budget, but having a wife and a kid and a baby on the way, if I had $400 extra just chilling, it's very hard to be like, I'm going to go buy a Wii U game right now. I'm going to go drop $400 on a Wii U game. So sometimes it's that you don't have the $400 extra. Other times it's that is not the best use of your money. There's always going to be a bill to pay, a vacation to plan for, a rainy day emergency fund that you need. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have probably watched RGT's flooding video, and you know he talks about how expensive that is. And man, wouldn't it have been great to have that $400 for a bathroom emergency over Devil's Third? So, but the other reason that I'm only 2 games short is because I took advantage of sales and promotions during COVID, and with the Switch being out and us moving on to the next generation and the Wii U being this flop. But me personally loving the Wii U, GameStop was having 4 for $10 and 4 for $20 sales. So I was going in and I was buying every Wii U game I didn't have at 4 for $10 or 4 for $20. So I was getting 4 Wii U games at either $10 or $20. And that's how I amassed that Wii U collection. I work at a video game store where I get 25% off. Okay? So the only reason I bought Fire Emblem on GameCube was because not only did I get 25% off, I also had store credit, right? So I didn't have to come out of my pocket nearly as bad for Fire Emblem on GameCube. And that's important. The other thing is, I have never met a video game collector that pays full retail. I'd like to quote Robert Downey Jr. here. Never go full retail. It's just that simple, guys. I mean, for a game here or there, yes. But when you see these YouTubers with big collections, I can 100% tell you they did not pay full retail for every single game in their collection. I mean, you watch these guys, they're out at flea markets. They're like, people in the scene know who they are. They know what they're collecting. You know, I'm collecting N64, GameCube, and Wii U, and every single video game collector that I know knows that's what I'm collecting. They know to think of me when that comes in. Okay? You got to do that for yourself. You got to know the other collectors. You got to make friends with them, and you got to tell them, like, I'm collecting PS2. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. That way they know, oh, you're the Dreamcast guy, you're the Game Boy Advance guy. They need to know that, because a lot of these guys want to flip stuff, they want to sell stuff, they want to trade. So if they know what you're looking for, you know, they're going to be able to help you out. And, you know, like I said, these guys are going to flea markets. They're making connections. They are out at 6 in the morning. I don't really do the 6 in the morning thing. Like I said, I work at a video game store, so video games come to me, you know, and that helps a lot. They're on eBay. You know, eBay will give you coupons, and there's deals to be had. There's Black Friday sales. Like, I do a lot of my video game shopping during Black Friday. You can take you can take advantage of some good promotions. So remember, guys, never go full retail. Like, I want to get Chrono Trigger and I want to get Devil's Third, but I don't want to pay full retail for those games. I get 25% off at work. Kind of hoping they'll come into work just to get that nice 25% off. But just know there's tricks, guys. Sell your old games that you're not collecting anymore or you've beat already. Trade them in for store credit, right? There are ways to get around paying full retail. So just remember that, guys. Never go full retail. All right, the second thing he talked about was space. Yeah, absolutely. My wife and I have outgrown this house. We are moving after our son is born. So we're moving in about 2 or 3 months. And I'm looking forward to it, guys, because I'm going to have a more dedicated area. That you guys may have noticed, like, I've been doing videos over retro game collecting on this channel for 6-7 years now, and I've never done a game room tour. That's because I've never had a game room. Right now I have 2 bookshelves set up in my living room, and my TV's just in the living room. And, you know, I just alternate between what consoles I play and what games I play. I do not have a game room. When I move, I won't necessarily have a game room, but I'll have a dedicated area for it. So maybe I'll do something showing you guys, you know, what I have. But I've got 2 bookshelves that are jammed full. And if you guys watch my New Year's resolution video, you know that I said I'd really like to hit this threshold with GameCube games. And honestly, I haven't. This year I've bought maybe 10 GameCube games, and that's probably overshooting it. I know my wife and I went out to visit my dad. We stopped by this retro game store. I picked up 2 GameCube games. And I'm sitting here thinking, is that all I've bought this year? Just 2 GameCube games? And money and space are a big part of that. My Wii U games take up 2 of the shelves. It's a small library. My GameCube games take up about another 2 shelves. And I have to, like, it's starting to bleed into, like, the N64 shelf. So it's like, when we move, I probably got to get another bookshelf. And it's just worth noting, guys, space is not infinite. And I saw somebody in his comment section say when they were moving or when they were buying houses or whatever, his collection was factored into the size of the house they needed. And I'm sure if you collected for any length of time, you're going to get to that point too. And for me, I collect comic books and I collect cards. Think like Magic the Gathering or Pokemon. So, yeah, it gets a little hectic. I'll agree with him in the video. He said he's got just piles of games. I have piles of comics that maybe I'm going to read or maybe I need to catalog them. Piles of cards for decks I'm building, or, you know, they're just not in the box I need them to. And video games are kind of similar. I have my bookshelf. Then I've got like a stand in front of it. And if I'm thinking about playing it or I need it for a video, I kind of put it on that shelf so that I can get to it to film it later. And then it's a whole ordeal because the space is so tight. Do I really want to fight with getting this back in? So I went into it knowing I'm collecting just 3 consoles primarily. The N64, the GameCube, and the Wii U. So I thought, like, do I sell my Wii games? Do I sell my PS2 games? Do I sell my Xbox games? Like, I'm not going for a complete Xbox set, but that doesn't mean I have to sell the Xbox games I have now. But if I sold them, that's more money that can go into the GameCube collection. That's more shelf space that can be allocated to the GameCube. So, I mean, you really do start to think about all the variables here at play. And the third thing that I want to talk about today is time. And now he hinted at this. He said, I'm not rich. This collection, I've been amassing it for years. I think he said 5 or 6 in the video. I could be wrong, but he said just like me, he'd been collecting before that, even if we didn't know we were collectors, right? But I started collecting N64, GameCube, Wii U back in 2016, give or take. And I mean, you think, oh, N64 is only 297-ish games. I can get that done. 9 years later, 8 years later, I can have that done. But you don't, for several reasons. Again, at the end of the day, there's more important priorities. Yes, I'm going for a complete N64 set. I have over 100 games, so I'm over a third of the way there. And I've got some heavy hitters. I've got Transformers. I've got Bomberman Second Attack. I've got some nice games. But there's still more you have to get, right? There's still Worms, or there's still Sculptor's Cut, right? So it's just like picking and choosing your battles. Like, I view myself as a video game collector for life. I'm now no longer in a rush to complete the sets. And this is probably what I'll add the most from like my perspective is when I started, Steven Plays, was doing Extra Life. And I thought that's a cool idea. He did N64, he did GameCube, he did Wii. I said, well, I'll do Wii U. It's a shorter library. I love the games. At the time, it was still retail relevant. You're thinking 2016. The Switch was still a year away. Yeah, a year away. So, yeah, I'll do Wii U. Sure. I love it, and I wouldn't mind getting the games. They're cheap at GameStop. Like I said, they're doing sales and promotions throughout a lot of the Wii U's lifespan. It wasn't a well-selling console. And again, if you'd asked me, I would have said, yeah. I mean, the Wii U's got, I don't even remember, 163 games, give or take. 160-ish games. I'll definitely have that done in 9 years. And dude, I blazed through it. I really did. I got to sub 10 within like a year, right? Also, if you can hear my daughter, she's singing something in the background. But I got to like sub 10 games in a year. And it was slim pickings after that. And I say from a year, not like during 2016, but for like 2020, when we started really very aggressively doing it during COVID. It took me like a year of hardcore doing it to get it under 10. And dude, the last 10 games have taken so long. I remember on my honeymoon, so this is 2021, we went down to St. Augustine. On the way up, we stopped at this GameStop, and they had Planes, Fire and Rescue. And I'm like, sweet, I'm under 3 games. Under 3 games. Wait, well, I guess I should say we're at 3 games. We needed 2 Just Dances and a Devil's Third. That was 3 years ago. I bought Just Dance off of Mort's Garage's Whatnot a few months ago. Yeah, it took about 3 years to find another Wii U game I didn't have. And I just learned to be like, okay, it may be another 3 years before I get Just Dance 2019. And then it may be another 3 years before I get Devil's Third. I've just learned to enjoy the ride. Like, it's not a rush. My brother's getting into collecting 3DS. And, he said he cares more about the consoles than the games, but he wants to collect the games. And I said, dude, if you're only collecting 3DS stuff, like, it's not a rush. Don't burn yourself out. If your thing is the 3DS, you have your whole life to collect that. Now, you could die tomorrow, you could go blind, you could lose mobility and become paralyzed. Yeah, that's all true. But, avoiding calamity, you can collect 3DS your whole life. You don't have to, put yourself into debt or burn out or fill up your shelves or have an unhealthy obsession. At work, it's now like, did a GameCube game come in? Do I have this one? Maybe, maybe not, right? Like, working at a video game store, I have a lot of patience. There are some games, like Chameleon Twist 2. Guys, I've wanted Chameleon Twist 2 for, no joke, probably 5 years now. I played Chameleon Twist, probably not 5 years, 2019. 2019. So, oh, shoot. Yeah, 5 years. I've wanted Chameleon Twist 2 for 5 years now. It's not that bad. $40, give or take. But I haven't done it. I haven't pulled the trigger. I'm like, I will get it at some point, and I will play it, and I will enjoy it. So those are the 3 I wanted to talk about today. Another point he talked about was, is collecting necessary in the face of emulation? So this is where I turn over to you guys. Let me know down below if you want a video over physical collecting versus emulation. Or any topics, really. He touched on some stuff. Are there other myths you guys are interested in? Anything you want perspective over or my opinion over? I've been collecting... I have no idea if you guys can hear it or not, but I can. I've been collecting video games for easily 8 years, and I've had my childhood video games for my whole life, right? Before I called it collecting. So if you guys are a retro collector and there are any topics you guys want, feel free to give me video ideas. I mean, videos have slowed down a little bit because I went on vacation, I came back, and I kind of just haven't thought of any good ideas since I've been back from vacation. And I saw JankedJesus posted this, and I was like, okay, this will be fun to just talk about retro video games. So I've got a couple of ideas in the chamber. I just need to get them out. In the meantime, feel free to watch the video we just did on what's the best year of the Nintendo Switch. That means a lot to me when you guys comment. I really enjoy reading what you guys have to say. So hopefully there was something to glean from this nonsense. I said I was only going to talk for 10 minutes. It's been like 16. Okay, that's not bad. All right, I'm going to throw some footage on this and get this out. So you guys have a great rest of your night. Let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see, and we will see you in the next one. Peace out.